that's only a minute difference, right? That's basically the same. When you're talking about end games, that is a huge amount of points difference that is earned. And you could almost take off the first 20 minutes of that average and then do that sort of comparison. And you get a better picture of just how strong a team is at moving into that late game.
Yeah, I think I looked at before, and I think the difference between like 21-minute average survival time and a 23-minute average survival time is something like 40 points almost. It's kind of crazy, actually, the amount of points gain you get off 2 minutes additional over any one squad. But it is specifically over the 20-minute mark where things start to change a lot. But so far, some of our teams are gone into the 23-24 position. At that point, even if you do get that far, you go out in, say, 8th, 7th. It's only one placement point, or not even one placement point. You drop out in 8th. So it's definitely difficult. Definitely difficult. APG making their stop off. Wolves no longer really playing around this position anymore. They used to keep a scout out down towards the south side in Baton. But honestly, Baton was getting battered quite frequently by APG as they would just send direct into that gas station. And I think this is the right choice from the Wolves, which is just to play as a 4-man up towards that north side and just give up playing down towards the south from now on. It makes a lot more sense.
They have obviously moved up there. You can see leaving Baton still as an outpost, but over towards Sunken this time. As the circle goes over to the Yaz Fields. We haven't really had too many keep those Yaz Fields in. That position that OG hold right now, a little bit of a command spot over the Yaz Fields. Leaving it to the south may be a bit tricky. Maybe they want to keep more presence across some other areas. They don't want to regroup fully onto it. Leaving it entirely, I'm not sure. That would allow a team like Team Secret, beg your pardon, allow a team like Team Secret to fly on in past that Yaz bridge, leaving down from the north side and get a very valuable spot. So I think they want to keep that one under control.
Yeah, it's a very difficult circle, this one. With the Yaz Lake on the north side, Yaz Fields as well. You have a lot of space that is sort of unavailable to play. And for most teams, they're not even thinking about playing over towards the northwest side of this circle either. So you're cramming a lot of teams into a very small area. I think this is one of the maps where, you know, stage 3, you're probably going to see 3 or 4 teams go down there.
Looks like Wolves have found the east point of Rosok. They have condensed onto it under the purview of loops, but they do have to potentially march a little bit further east. Good access out to the east rotate paths, though, for Wolves, and maybe actually cutting loops off a little bit, with the Falcons a little bit further out as well. Loops have fewer options than they once did. GS, they're moving in from the south side to the east of Pmgc over Potato Hill, but they've got Genji ahead of them, and they've got APG behind them, Blank. So a difficult hilltop to hold in that sort of scenario.
APG rotating far on the south. I think for APG, they could remain like in transit for quite a while. They could even wait until stage 3 before they really make a big move, because then you can make a big swing. And I think at this point in time where you're on the outside of the circle anyway, it's unlikely you're finding a strong position in the circle at this point, where, like we said before, there's a massive amount of area that's cut out in this zone. And so many squads have already picked basically the map clean of pole positions. Alter Ego, though, I don't mind their spot on the south side of Yaz Fields. It'll keep them alive for quite some time. But for them, it is a case of trying to catch up now. With Gen G hitting second place, 65 points, it has been a tremendous and speedy approach towards the top side of the table.
I mean, it just goes to show you the volatility in general that we've been talking about, right? It has allowed them to do this, right? Because of what APG did yesterday, because there was this very, very flexible tables Genji have been able to slingshot themselves up. That will start to happen less and less as we isolate in. A big shift out to the west, though. Let's talk about this, because we're going back to school. We're going back to apartments, the hills to the south, the position that Wolves had taken control of early on the east of Rosok. That's going to be really valuable for them as well. We're moving away from those Yaz Fields too.
Yeah, I think for Falcons, this is like kind of their time, right? It was interesting because I think yesterday Junior was saying on the broadcast from the Indo scene that honestly, the fact of the matter was is that Falcons don't really know how to play from Pmgc in terms of those initial rotates, and I sort of agree with him. I think that because they are so center, sometimes they kind of flub the initial rotate from that position. So it's always interesting to get the opinions from the other broadcast talent. I don't understand where they're coming from, what they think, and especially for us who've watched Falcons for quite a while, John. You know, we cover their region as well. It's nice to have some outside input.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to have a fresh set of eyes. Nico, not feeling super fresh though himself, as Papra Supermassive lose one to the Gen G roll down as they continue to make their approach towards this next circle from Potato Hill. Of course, they already in it from that south side, but maybe they want to establish themselves more. And with APG breathing down their neck, can't blame them. Reject, hoping to have a little bit better of a rotational set than last match. With Alter Ego right there, that's going to be very tricky.
Let's get a move on, but already a lot of shots raining down on them. We'll just have to get away. No divine intervention this game. We'll just have to send off into the distance. There's D+ down towards the southeast side, though. I think the main feature here is that barren land over towards the eastern side of apartments and school, where a lot of teams are going to kind of struggle to play in. If this continues to go dead center, you sort of have that one singular tiny compound towards the middle of the map here, which is going to become a very, very useful position. Right now, it's kind of rubbish. It's kind of rubbish. Not many teams want to play it, but if we do keep heading center, you will see teams start to fight over that position, and specifically on the eastern side of apartments. A lot of times with those circles, you can see 2 or 3 teams playing apartments towards the end game.
That's potential to get a little bit chock-a-block in that zone. We'll see where the next circle's going, though, because we're about 10 seconds away from finding out. D+, holding out on the southeast side. Still fending off people in the area. And that is a bold flex out from Satan there for Gen G. He's just going to get punished, and it's not going to be happy. A north side shift here, though, Blank, and the Wolves just keep getting happier. OG as well on the north side. Team Secret, who felt like maybe they'd had to move probably about in the last 3 circles. Again, can go a little bit slower, but their approach is still very much difficult.
Supermassive making a quick rotate out. That's from the south side, trying to pass by Gen G. And currently are under the purview of GS. Now, for the Falcons, they do have a fairly decent position right now, yeah, but I think they need to regroup. I think they absolutely need to regroup. This is a big old test for Narvalo here. Cannot quite find the second. Koa needs to be successful on this one.
Oh, does not connect with any of those shotgun shells. And Papra Supermassive, they sweep the leg. The Falcons stayed split too long, and Papra Supermassive all too happy to add those points to their tally. Falcons just disappointing on their performance here. A nade in for Alter Ego, who have crashed into this compound that generally is sort of nigh on unassailable. They haven't got a flush just yet, but Krypton are going to keep the nades rolling. Won't quite connect on this one, and the res is starting to come through now. Rosemary breaching forward, Snape as well. AKOP on the door, they drop the smokes, trying to play a little bit of funny business as WizGod stands back up, but an immediate re-knock on his teammate. Alva gets the nade onto the off angle too. WizGod to the upstairs. AKOP looking to try and stay alive, but they are just falling. Alter Ego handling every fight as they come, and now it's just WizGod. A nade on the inside, and he's blasted back by Rosemary's shot to the feet, making him dance.
Great clear from Alter Ego there. I'm still sort of reeling from this, you know. I don't understand why there's not an immediate regroup coming through from the Falcons over towards L block, or regrouping with the 2 players on the northeast side. In my opinion, regrouping on the northeast side would have been a way better scenario to go for. There's very
KOP on the door. They drop the smokes, trying to play a little bit of funny business as Wiscod stands back up, but an immediate re-knock on his teammate. Alva gets the nade onto the off angle too. Wiscod to the upstairs. AKOP looking to try and stay alive, but they are just falling. Alter Ego handling every fight as they come, and then now it's just Wiscod. A nade on the inside, and he's blasted back by Rosemary's shot to the feet, making him dance.
Great clear from Alter Ego there. I'm still sort of reeling from this, you know. I don't understand why there's not an immediate regroup coming through from the Falcons over towards L block or regrouping with the two players on the northeast side. In my opinion, regrouping on the northeast side would have been a way better scenario to go for. There's very minimal areas to play here. You know that everyone is gonna want a little bit of L block. It's just it's greedy, but I don't even think it's greedy from Falcons. I think it's just slow, honestly. I think that they're slow to figure out what they want to do next. They don't regroup in time. By the time they're thinking, maybe we should get back as a four-man, they're already assailed by other teams. So, yeah, the decision-making needs to be quicker there. Tiamba up against Team Secret. But just one player in A-King left alive. Good shots from him with the S12, but has to reload.
Popped off though, and now it's a 1 versus 1. Low HP, sure. Loki dancing around the door frame here in a 1v1 as the fight in the middle actually pop it off as well. You can see the picture-in-picture. That's GS crashing in. Gen G have been dismantled in the meantime. Papra Supermassive, they've been there for a while. It's no longer Gen G. It is just that two-team fight. Papra Supermassive looking to hold off their compound against GS, who very successfully crash in there.
Nice.
The 1v1 does conclude though.
Tiamba A-King with the 1v3. That's crazy. But Alter Ego now yet again give him another marker, another challenge to solve. And I think it's very unlikely he gets out of this one alive. Alter Ego will pick up this position for themselves. But well played, A-King. This is Team Secret. And Team Secret's having a horrible time of it currently in 16th place. Papra Supermassive right now versus